Teaching mental health professionals how to make more money with coaching, training, and consulting programs is attracting some major negativity. It seems like every day I get another comment like this on my social media. Get rich quick, no thanks. It's not okay to teach people how to get more money out of someone's pocket. I do what I do out of a desire to help, not get rich, 84 likes. Prioritizing making money, not supporting people in their suffering. Profit cannot be the answer. What about the underserved populations? Who'll care for them? And I get it. There are strong opinions on the subject. So I decided to make this video to clear a few things up. Since March of 2020, I've spoken to more than 951 therapists, and I've received a ton of these types of comments on my social media. So much so that I've noticed some pretty big trends and some pretty big blind spots that I want to bring up. A few of the most common threads are, we made a commitment to serve. Our job isn't about the money. Our duty is to be there to serve everyone. We must be accessible. If people can't afford us, we need to find ways to drop our prices, no matter what that does to us. And under all of these objections, I've noticed a few trends. First of all, there are some magnificent people who are clearly built for serving the underserved. They thrive on helping these populations day after day, year after year, decade after decade. Their patience is never ending because they're exactly where they need to be. Most days give them a sense of reward. They are truly happy. These are people who should definitely keep doing what they're doing because when you meet them, you know they are right where they need to be and they love it. Then I see people who are a small piece of a very big system. Some of them work in agencies. Their clients often don't want to be there. They spend most of their day working with those who are not willing to change or listen. Their agency is like a modern day sweatshop who holds them hostage on a meager paycheck and they feel they cannot break free. Their work is draining. Their health is deteriorating and their own mental health is in decline. Then there are the folks in private practice, mostly the ones who bill insurance. They have a different clientele who wants to be there, but they also have a lot of bills to cover in their own life. They have an office, overhead, a kids, massive student loan, and a mortgage. They miss when their own kids are home from school because their clients need them in the evenings and weekends. And the amount they're taking home after the insurance or therapy app takes their cut leaves them living paycheck to paycheck and working more hours than is healthy for them just to make ends meet. Clearly, these are two different kinds of people with different needs. To one type of giver, they're built for this journey and they need to stay on their path. The other spends their time feeling overworked, underpaid, and like they're martyring themselves and their families just because they're supposed to and because they believe there is no other way to be in this profession. Should both of these types of people continue in this situation? Are both of these types of therapists serving at their fullest capacity? Is career satisfaction in our industry really just a supervision issue? Or should the suffering therapists look at other options that are a better fit for what they and their families really need at this point in their life? Don't you yourself need to be balanced in order to be a good therapist? Another issue I see, and this is clearly what's going on with a lot of the people who take the time to make negative comments on my social media, is a conscious or unconscious belief that it's necessary for you to be poor in order to help others. This is a savior complex. These people are deriving their value from who they help instead of who they already are. Now, I don't want to get too woo-woo on you all, but I believe that some of them who have this issue are actually using their clients more than they're helping them. Or it could be a deep feeling of financial unworthiness in disguise. These are people who are hiding money issues so deep-seated that when someone offers them a path out, denial and resistance are their response. Born of this feeling of undeserving, I have to ask, are these healthy motivations to do the work that you're doing? If you continue on this path, will you end up a happy person, or are you going to end up an angry person? And if you're committed to this belief, do you really think the insurance companies, the education industry, and the student loan companies believe they should be poor as well? After all, their purpose is to help the same people you're helping, right? Is that why they're making these enormous profits off your back while they squeeze you in every direction that they can? Do you think you're right to take that? Do you think that these companies will one day decide to cut you a break because you're a nice person? Or will they only respond to therapists pushing back and telling them to fix it, or else they have other options? Here's another issue I see all the time: incongruence. Some honest therapists admit to me that they feel inauthentic telling their clients to make sure they do self-care, to be fearless in achieving prosperity, to do the work that makes them happy, to believe that they're deserving of the life they could have if only they'd let go of their self-esteem issues, not to overwork, and to have the courage to ask for what they deserve. Because at the exact same time, these therapists are the ones who resent working too many hours. They're the ones who force themselves to take clients at inconvenient times when they would rather be with their kids. They're the ones who have to sacrifice their own personal relationships to an unholy work schedule. And they're the ones who are taking it up the backside from these mammoth companies who don't care if you can't pay your rent. It's a grim picture I'm painting, and I'm not trying to rail against the industry here. What I am trying to do is question a deep-seated belief that if you're going to be a mental health professional, you have to eat a shit sandwich every day just to be able to do it, if you'll pardon my Scottish. People think that the way that they are in is the only way, that nothing else is possible. They're working at the coalface so long that they can't look up and take a broader view of their life and their choices. So if you're currently stuck in the belief that therapists shouldn't be prosperous, or that it's wrong to reduce your clinical hours and find new directions, and that new business models that can give you and make you more income, and give you the lifestyle that you believe right now is impossible, I want to make a few points right now to help you with your mindset. First thing, check your ego. If you feel triggered by the fact that I exist, that's a pretty sure sign that your ego is involved. Whether it's a savior complex or a self-esteem issue that makes you want to hide yourself and your gifts, a symptom of your rigidity, a narcissistic belief that elevates you as an unchallengeable guru and that your way is the only way, or some deep-seated anger that somebody else dare suggest you break out of the suckage that you're pissed off you accepted for the last 2 decades. Stop it. I'm not a therapist, and I'm really not good at these kinds of interventions, so I'm just going to say it again. Stop it. You can't be a good therapist and be stuck in these beliefs. Being a savior does not make you a better person. It makes you worse. If you're stuck in these beliefs, you are not helping at your fullest capacity, and hopefully this friend slap is going to help you to see it. Next, you don't have to be all about the money in order to make good money. Money is not evil. Now, coaching is most definitely a middle-class customer base. Nobody's telling you to take someone's last dollar or put them into debt in exchange for your help. For people who have the money and want the best help, it's completely fine for you to charge based on the value of the transformation for them rather than a number that someone else has ascribed to the value of your time. You don't have to make it all about reaping huge profits and living some Lamborghini lifestyle. That's right for some people. But making more money doesn't need to be about that. Right now, one of my clients uses her coaching program to make more money than she's used to making in half the time she normally makes it. Now she donates the other 50% of her time doing equine coaching for trafficked children, which she does for free. Another is in South Africa right now, simultaneously running her coaching business for American clients and donating the rest of her time to the underprivileged. And nobody's saying that creating a coaching, training, or consulting business isn't challenging. It's not a magical act. It will grow you in ways that are different to what you're used to and in ways that do create larger financial rewards. It's not some magical get-rich-quick scheme. It's a new business that you're going to commit to, part-time at first, and then maybe make your full-time gig if it's worth it. So there you have it, anti-money people. You guys are all very educated and experienced in personal development. It makes me nervous to speak to you like this because you're much smarter than me and you're much more refined in working through issues and blocks. But after speaking to over 951 therapists since 2020, this is what I see and this is how I see it. Feel free to take me apart in the comments if you disagree. Now, if you'd like to know how to create a coaching, training, or consulting program of your own, I have a few resources to suggest. Make sure you like this video and subscribe so that you see more of my stuff. And perhaps you'd like to join me in a live training on Monday at 6 p.m. ET where I'll show you how it's done. The link to register is in the description of this video and I hope to see you there. I'd also love to hear your comments and thoughts on making money and on money issues and money blocks if you are a therapist. Leave them below this video.